Should men and women share the leave that they take off work after the birth of their baby? The government has already consulted on the idea of sharing parental leave, although it's yet to outline its plans. But surprise, surprise, some businesses are concerned that such a move could lead to more red tape and confusion. Susanna Mendonça has been finding out more.
Playtime at Mandy's house in North Weald in Essex. She's a mum of 4 who also works part-time for a website that offers women advice on finding work that fits in around their children. She's in favour of plans for more flexible rules around maternity and paternity leave that could see dads taking more time off instead of leaving it down to the mother.
In my last pregnancy, it would have been brilliant. I mean, because I was, I didn't get very much in terms of statutory maternity pay because I was only doing a part-time job, and I'm usually the main breadwinner in the family, so I had to take that time off when I could have been earning. Whereas if my partner had taken that time off, then I could have earned, I could have kept my wages coming in.
At the moment, women get 39 weeks of paid maternity leave, and men get 2 weeks of paternity leave paid.
But the coalition government's committed to a more flexible system of parental leave, where mums and dads could share the time at home with the children after they're born.
That was one of the pledges made in the coalition agreement, and the government carried out a consultation last year that outlined plans to give mothers 18 weeks of paid leave around the birth of their child. It also suggested that both parents should share a further 30 weeks of leave, 17 of which would be paid. And in addition to that, it said that each parent should be entitled to 4 weeks of parental leave and pay in the first year of their child's life. The government's expected to set out its plans for parental leave soon, and the left-leaning think tank IPPR says they seem to be moving in the right direction.
They're certainly talking about more family-friendly policies, and it's definitely the right way to be going. IPPR research has shown that a much more progressive parental leave agenda, combined with universal childcare, doesn't need to cost more. It could generate a tax revenue by boosting maternal employment rates and really allow better choices for mums and dads in the way that they want to bring up their children.
But what about the impact on small businesses? This accountancy firm in Thiel near Reading employs 8 people, one of whom is soon to go on maternity leave. The boss says she can plan for that, but the prospect of parents taking their parental leave in movable chunks would be a problem.
As a services business, each person is really critical to the business. So we're already planning well in advance for the next person about to go for maternity leave, and that's fine if we know that they're going to be going, approximately 8 or 9 months. But if they were going 3 months, then 3 months off, then 3 months on, it does get a lot more complicated to work out the right cover for that.
So can the government's future plans for parental leave be business-friendly and family-friendly at the same time?
So, Justine, can we really afford these changes?
I think looking at it a different way, all the evidence shows actually that offering flexibility to your workforce increases productivity, it increases retention rates, it increases, employee well-being. So I think certainly, we shouldn't just dismiss it as a cost to business. I think flexible working is something that business needs to embrace. I take the point from your film that for small businesses there may be an issue around exemptions because it is hard. Mumsnet is still quite a small business, and we we employ a lot of women of childbearing age.
I'm sure you do.
Yes, and so it is a test for business, and I think there is something around planning and small businesses finding that hard, but big business should certainly embrace it.
Yes, and big business, by and large, does or certainly has made steps to do so, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've actually been working very closely with a lot of big business. We have a family-friendly programme, and they have been doing some very innovative things, like, for instance, O2 have a working contract which they share between parents, between 2 and 4 parents. They're allowed to share the hours between them, so they have one contract. Brilliant idea. But they're doing it for a reason. It actually works.
But if it works, and in the way that you have said, that it actually increases productivity and helps a business, why has the Institute of Directors called for these reforms to be stopped and the scrapping of flexible working altogether?
it's a really good question, and I wish they were here to answer it.
I wish they were too.
I think, look, it suits some industries better than others, but I think with modern technology and with the fact that our users tell us that 3/4 of them say that they're less likely to be employed after they have children. More than that say that they won't get promoted. So you wonder why there are fewer women, in the workforce, and there's a glass ceiling. And we know that diversity is not great. Not having diversity in the workplace is a bad thing. So I think, people need to sort of get a bit more modern. I think the Institute of Directors need to look at the bigger picture. That sometimes you just measure the immediate cost of things as opposed to the long-term effect.
I mean, how much of the statutory paternity leave do you think fathers should be permitted to share?
Well, I think, look, you have to look at it in the round. And I think, I'm not sure that a lot of work has been done about breastfeeding rates and what it means to society. If we're, on the one hand, we're telling women that they need to breastfeed for longer and longer for the health of their children. And the other, we're saying, go back to work, go back to work. But the truth is, what I think is good about this policy is it allows each individual family some flexibility. In an economic sense, it'll take a while, I think, before women and men, are on an equal footing. But at the moment, what you have is total gender discrimination. Employers are reluctant to employ women of a certain age because they think they'll be rushing off to have babies. And actually, we talk a lot about family-friendly policies. What we really need to do is employer-friendly policies, and flexibility is the key one. And the more you open it all to all employees, the less discrimination you get against a group of a few. And my argument, and the argument of all the work we've done around this, is that it actually, in the long run, is good for business.
Justine Roberts, thank you very much, and thank you for coming on to the programme.